Have you ever noticed a stone in the center of a river during a storm? Even with turbulent waters trying to drag it away, the stone remains stable and resilient. Our spirit should be like that stone when facing life's obstacles. Stoicism shows us that regardless of the size of the problems we face, we can always choose to maintain our inner calm. True strength lies not in dominating situations, but in mastering how we respond to them. This is the secret of the great Stoics, to remain firm like a stone in the face of life's storms. Facing challenges is part of human nature. Sometimes they come as small nuisances, other times as devastating hurricanes. What distinguishes a Stoic spirit is the ability to confront these challenges without being shaken, accepting what cannot be changed, and acting wisely on what can be altered. If you assimilate these concepts, you'll see that no obstacle is capable of bringing you down. In this video, I will reveal to you 8 Stoic secrets that will empower you to face any adversity with tranquility and strength. Each secret is unique and carries precious lessons for you to remain stable like a true resilient stone in the face of everything life throws your way. Now, if this message resonates with you, I have a special request. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and comment below, "I am a resilient stone." By doing so, you not only reinforce your commitment to this path, but also join a community that seeks to cultivate tranquility and robustness, just like the stone that remains stable and resilient amidst the currents. Face discomfort as a teacher. Human nature drives us to flee from discomfort whenever possible. We desire an easy, serene life without unpleasant setbacks. However, the Stoics teach us something entirely different. It is in discomfort that we discover the most significant lessons. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often pointed out that adversity was a chance for growth. For the Stoic, pain and discomfort are not adversaries but teachers that guide us to a higher level of understanding and inner strength. When facing a challenge, the initial reaction may be to try to escape or lessen the suffering. However, when you adopt a Stoic view, you begin to see that discomfort can be turned into something powerful. Every difficulty, whether physical or emotional, carries with it a chance to enhance your resilience, patience, and self-control. Facing discomfort with bravery doesn't mean enjoying pain, but accepting its existence as part of the journey. An athlete, when preparing for a competition, feels muscle pain, exhaustion, and even discouragement during training. However, he understands that this discomfort is crucial for his development and strengthening. Without facing this effort, he will never achieve triumph. Similarly, the emotional and mental discomfort we face throughout life shapes us. Each barrier overcome is like a block that solidifies the foundation of our mind. Facing discomfort without avoiding it allows us to develop a robust and resilient spirit, capable of overcoming any adversity. Often, discomfort disguises itself as failure, rejection, or loss. These moments may seem devastating, but Stoic wisdom reminds us that these events are transient and that we can always extract valuable lessons from them. When you change your view of discomfort and begin to see it as an essential component of growth, it loses its power to immobilize you. You no longer avoid it, but face it head-on, with courage and calmness. Practicing Stoicism is accepting the reality that discomfort is part of life. The more you avoid it, the more it intensifies. But the more you accept it, the more it diminishes. This acceptance does not imply resignation or passivity. On the contrary, it means that you are willing to face what is necessary to become stronger and wiser. By seeing discomfort as a teacher, you begin to transform your relationship with it, realizing that every difficult moment can be an opportunity to enhance your skills and strengthen your character. An effective practice for dealing with discomfort is daily reflection. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I learn from the challenges I faced today? Often the lesson will not be obvious, but over time, you will notice that the moments of greatest pain are those that provided the most growth. With this mindset, you prepare yourself to face discomfort as an inevitable and indeed essential part of life's journey. Embrace the impermanence of all things. Impermanence is one of the most profound and inevitable truths of life. Everything around us is in constant change, from the seasons to the phases of our lives. Stoicism teaches that accepting this impermanence is one of the keys to finding inner peace and, consequently, becoming unwavering in the face of challenges. When we understand that nothing is permanent, neither moments of joy nor of pain, we develop a more serene outlook on life. This acceptance allows us to live more lightly. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering arises from resistance to change. We want the good things to last forever, but we get frustrated when they dissipate. Likewise, we fear that bad things will last indefinitely, and this expectation can paralyze us. But by accepting the impermanence of everything, we realize that both pleasure and pain are fleeting. Neither lasts forever. Thus, we learn to appreciate the present without clinging to the future or the past. Marcus Aurelius, in his Reflections, reminds us that the cosmos is transformation. Our existence is shaped by our thoughts. By assimilating this reality, we begin to live with greater emotional balance. When we face adverse situations, instead of sinking into distress, we can remember that this too shall pass. And when we are enjoying pleasant moments, we can cherish them with gratitude, without the fear of losing them. This perspective frees us from constant anxiety and empowers us to experience the present fully. Understanding impermanence does not imply passive resignation. We are not merely accepting events in a fatalistic manner, but recognizing that change is a natural aspect of existence. When something concludes, whether it be a relationship, a job, or a phase of life, instead of lamenting indefinitely, we should see it as a chance for the new. Resistance to change only intensifies suffering, while acceptance allows us to flow with life more harmoniously. This does not mean that we won't feel sadness or nostalgia, but that these feelings won't dominate us. The practice of accepting impermanence is a continuous exercise. Instead of resisting the course of life, we must learn to navigate with it. The Stoics suggest that, throughout our journey, we should constantly remind ourselves that circumstances can change at any moment. This is not to cause us anxiety, but to mentally prepare us. When we are ready for change, it doesn't surprise us, and thus we become more resilient to the fluctuations of life. Moreover, accepting impermanence helps us develop a deep sense of gratitude. By realizing that nothing is eternal, we become more aware of the value of each moment, each person, and each experience we have. We learn not to take anything for granted and instead to appreciate each moment for what it is, fleeting yet valuable. Value the present with wisdom. The Stoics teach us that the only thing we truly possess is the current moment. The past is gone and cannot be altered. The future is uncertain and beyond our reach. When we focus excessively on either of these two times, past or future, we miss the chance to live fully in the now. The Stoic secret of valuing the present with wisdom is essential to facing life's challenges with serenity and attentiveness. Often, we let ourselves be overwhelmed by past regrets, reminiscing about choices we wish we had made differently. At other times, we become anxious about the future, visualizing all possible scenarios, many of which will never materialize. The result is that instead of using our time to act and live completely, we become trapped in a mindset that prevents us from enjoying what is right in front of us. Epictetus said, "Do not worry about what you cannot control," and the past and future certainly fit that description. Living in the present is both an exercise in simplicity and an act of courage. Simplicity because it means focusing on what is happening now, without filling the mind with unnecessary worries and regrets. Courage because it requires us to accept the present as it is, without being shaken by what we cannot change. When we encounter an obstacle, the tendency is to lose ourselves in thoughts like, "What if?" or "Why did this happen to me?" However, true Stoic strength lies in confronting the present reality with discernment and acting on what can be done here and now. Marcus Aurelius, in his Reflections, guides us to focus on the task at hand without distractions. He believed that by concentrating on the present, we can perform our actions more effectively and with greater serenity. When we worry about future outcomes or become obsessed with past mistakes, our energy dissipates, and what could have been a simple task turns into an emotional burden. An effective Stoic exercise is to start the day reminding yourself that the present is the only moment you have control over. This helps set your mindset so that throughout the day, you are more attentive to your actions and emotions. By living in the present, you begin to value the small things that might have gone unnoticed before, the beauty of a moment, the significance of a conversation, the tranquility of performing a task calmly. All these aspects gain more depth when you are fully present. Another advantage of living in the present is that it allows us to respond to challenges with greater emotional balance. When we are anchored in the now, we are not swept away by anxiety about what might happen, nor by the weight of what has already happened. We are in a position of mental clarity that allows us to make wiser decisions and face adversities with greater serenity. This is something profoundly powerful in Stoicism, the ability to remain centered even amidst chaos. Living in the now also encourages us to practice gratitude. By recognizing that the present is all we have, we begin to value more the moments, the people, and the experiences. Each moment is unique and fleeting, and by adopting this perspective, you become more aware of how you are spending your time. Instead of wasting your energies on regrets or fears, you choose to act in the present moment, enjoying to the fullest every opportunity life presents you. Turn challenges into opportunities. The Stoics firmly believed that within every challenge lies a seed of opportunity. This principle is fundamental to Stoic philosophy and one of the keys to remaining steadfast in the face of obstacles. When we face difficulties, the Stoic mind does not dwell on the problem itself, but on what can be done to turn that circumstance into something beneficial. It is the ability to look at the obstacle and see not an end, but a beginning, a chance for growth and learning. Marcus Aurelius stated, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacles we encounter are precisely what drive us to grow. They are hidden opportunities, waiting for us to take advantage of them in our favor. This mindset allows us to maintain calm and focus even in the face of the most intimidating adversities. To turn challenges into opportunities, the first step is to change perspective. When you face a problem, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Or "How can I use this to my advantage?" This shift in mindset is powerful because it moves the focus from victimization to action and growth. By doing so, you take control of the situation instead of being dominated by it. Reflect on a difficult moment you have faced. Perhaps it was the loss of a job, a failure in a project, or a personal disappointment. At the time, it may have seemed devastating, but if you look back now, you will likely see that this experience brought valuable lessons or even opened doors to new possibilities. Perhaps it was the impetus to seek a new career, develop a new skill, or strengthen your emotional resilience. This is the power of turning challenges into opportunities. What once seemed an obstacle reveals itself as a disguised gift. Another crucial element of this practice is resilience. The Stoics do not expect life to be easy or for obstacles to disappear. They understand that misfortune is unavoidable, but it is the response to it that truly matters. Resilience is not just the ability to endure adversity, but to grow from it. By facing challenges with a Stoic mindset, you begin to see each difficulty as a chance to strengthen yourself, become wiser, and better prepared for future obstacles that life may present. Turning challenges into opportunities also requires creativity. Often when we encounter a problem, we feel confined to a single perspective of the situation. However, Stoicism encourages us to broaden our vision and discover new ways to overcome difficulties. Perhaps the path you are on is no longer viable, but that doesn't mean there are no other routes. The challenge is to find new methods, new strategies, and new solutions. Another significant aspect is the impact this transformation can have on those around you. By facing adversities with courage and optimism, you not only strengthen yourself, but also inspire those around you. You become a model of how it is possible to turn obstacles into opportunities, and this can be incredibly motivating for friends, colleagues, and family. Cultivate tranquility amid chaos. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes it feels like we are at the center of a storm of challenges and uncertainties. Chaos can arise in many forms: conflicts, work pressures, personal dilemmas, or even existential crises. But no matter how chaotic the world around you may be, there is something you can always control: your own mind. Stoicism teaches us that it is possible to maintain tranquility and serenity even in the greatest adversities, and this is an essential skill for those who wish to remain firm in the face of any challenge. The Stoics believe that true strength comes from within. It is not external events that determine your inner peace, but how you choose to react to those events. Epictetus said, "What disturbs a man is not the events themselves, but the interpretations he makes of them." This means that even when external chaos is unavoidable, you have the power to choose how to respond internally. Tranquility is not a consequence of circumstances, but a conscious choice to keep your mind balanced, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Imagine a tree during a storm. While the branches are agitated by the wind, the roots remain firmly anchored in the ground. Likewise, by developing a tranquil mind, adversities may disturb the surface, but deep down, you preserve your peace. This ability does not appear suddenly. It is developed through practice and constant reflection. One of the first steps to achieving this peace is to learn to breathe truly. In moments of chaos, pause for a moment and take a deep breath. This simple gesture can help you regain control, preventing your emotions from taking over. When you slow down the impulsive response, you allow your mind to clear, and this is crucial to making wise choices amid chaos. Additionally, fostering tranquility amid chaos requires acceptance. The Stoics guide us to accept reality as it is, without resisting what we cannot change. This does not mean resignation, but discernment to understand that there are aspects beyond our control. When we accept that chaos is part of life, it loses its power to unbalance us. Instead of wasting energy trying to fight the unchangeable, we focus our efforts on what we can control, our posture and actions. The practice of Stoic meditation is also a strong ally. Marcus Aurelius meditated daily to prepare his mind for the challenges of the day. Meditation does not have to be something elaborate. It can be a simple moment of reflection where you examine your thoughts and emotions, distinguishing what is helpful from what is just interference. This helps you be more prepared when chaos arises, as you have already trained your mind to respond with serenity instead of reacting with distress. Once you start practicing calmness, you realize that it is not about apathy or indifference, but about full presence. Being tranquil amid chaos means being aware of what is happening around, but without being swept away by the stream of negative emotions. It is like being the captain of a ship in a storm. You feel the strong winds and waves, but you keep the helm steady, guiding your vessel to calmer waters. To sustain this serenity, it is essential to take care of your physical and mental health. Often, external chaos intensifies internal chaos, especially when we neglect our body and mind. A tired or stressed body intensifies challenges, making it harder to achieve calmness. Therefore, dedicate time to rest, attend to your nutrition, and practice physical activities. A healthy body supports a resilient mind. Remember, chaos will always exist in some way, but you don't have to be carried away by it. Each time you choose to react with tranquility and peace, you strengthen this ability and become more capable of dealing with future challenges. Maintain a broad perspective on life. Often, when faced with an obstacle, our perception narrows, and all we can see is the immediate problem. This excessive focus on a single aspect of life can make us forget that the world is vast and that our existence extends far beyond the current moment. The Stoics, however, encourage us to maintain a broad perspective on life, especially in times of adversity. When we can expand our view, we realize that the challenges we face are just a small part of a much larger journey. Think of a stormy night. When we are in the midst of it, everything seems intense and turbulent. But if you could rise above the clouds and observe from afar, you would see that the storm occupies only a fraction of the vast sky. So are the problems we face. When we allow ourselves to look beyond the present difficulty, we realize that it is temporary and insignificant in the grand scheme of things. This exercise of expanding our view helps us maintain calmness and peace, even in the most challenging times. When you are involved in a challenge, whether personal or professional, ask yourself, will this problem be relevant a year from now? 5 years from now? Often, you will find that the answer is no. By doing this exercise, you give yourself the opportunity to put the situation in perspective and see that, although the obstacle is uncomfortable now, it will not have the power to define you or dominate your life in the long term. This practice is a pillar of Stoicism, understanding that what seems significant now in a broader view may be just a fleeting detail. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of the insignificance of his problems compared to the vast scenario of the universe. He encourages us to see our lives as part of a much larger whole, in which our problems, as painful as they may seem, are merely small waves in a vast and immense ocean. When we adopt this view, we become more resilient because we stop fixating on the small details and begin to understand that life consists of ups and downs that, in the end, balance out. A broad perspective on life also helps us cultivate gratitude. When we mentally distance ourselves from setbacks, we can see more clearly the good things that persist around us. Even in times of crisis, there is always something to be grateful for, be it health, the people who support us, or the small daily triumphs. This recognition that life is much more than just obstacles helps us maintain a positive spirit and face challenges with more lightness. Maintaining a broad view allows us to avoid hasty decisions. When we are focused solely on an immediate problem, we tend to make decisions based on the emotion of the moment. However, by remembering that our life is a long journey, we can make more prudent decisions, considering long-term impacts instead of reacting to immediate pressures. This is crucial for Stoic resilience, not being dominated by impulse, but acting with calmness and clarity, understanding that today's challenges are just part of a larger cycle. Another important aspect of expanding our view is moving away from the ego. Often we become entangled in our problems because we see them as part of our identity, as if they were an extension of who we are. However, by looking at life with a broader perspective, we realize that we are much more than our problems or challenges. Our identity is not defined by a difficult moment, but by how we choose to face it. This perception gives us more control and autonomy over our own lives. Therefore, the next time you find yourself immersed in a challenging scenario, pause and analyze the situation from a broader viewpoint. Ask yourself, how does this relate to the overall context of my life? Is this obstacle truly worth all my effort and concern? By adopting this more comprehensive perspective, you not only alleviate the emotional weight of the setback, but also strengthen your capacity for overcoming, preparing yourself to face any difficulty with discernment and tranquility. Seek balance between acting and being patient. Life is a constant alternation between knowing when to intervene and when to wait. In Stoicism, this harmony between action and waiting is essential to overcoming challenges with prudence and resilience. In some situations, our immediate reaction is to act hastily, seeking a quick resolution. In others, we may feel stuck, waiting for circumstances to arrange themselves on their own. The real challenge is discerning when it is necessary to take action and when it is better to remain calm. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of acting according to reason and not driven by emotions. He understood that anxiety or haste often lead us to unsuitable choices. On the other hand, he was aware that passivity could make us miss crucial opportunities. The Stoic must act like a tactician, examine the context, consider the possible consequences, and calmly choose the best course of action. Have you ever found yourself in a moment where you reacted impulsively and later realized you should have waited? Or perhaps you regretted waiting too long and missed a valuable opportunity? The balance between initiative and patience is a skill that improves over time and with the practice of self-awareness. By learning to discern the moments when you should intervene and those when you should wait, you become much more efficient in problem solving. However, achieving this harmony requires a deep understanding of the scenario. The Stoic does not move on impulses, but neither does he drift on chance. In the face of a challenge, ask yourself, Can I do something to solve this now, or is it better to wait and see how the situations unfold? This reflection is vital to avoid wasting energy on rushed actions or passively waiting for something that may never happen. Patience should not be confused with passivity or resignation. Being patient means understanding that certain processes take time to materialize, but this does not imply remaining inactive. Stoic patience is dynamic. It involves observation, reflection, and preparation. While waiting for the right moment to act, the Stoic continues to prepare mentally and emotionally to be ready when intervention is necessary. On the other hand, action must also be thoughtful. Acting hastily or without reflection can lead us to even more complex situations. Prudence lies in recognizing that not every immediate action is effective. By contemplating the appropriate moment to act, you maximize your chances of success and avoid unnecessary frustrations. A clear example is the art of negotiation or confrontation. In certain circumstances, reacting impulsively can worsen the situation, but with patience, it is possible to wait for the ideal moment to act and achieve more favorable results. Value your time and energy. Time and energy are two of the most valuable assets we possess, yet we often squander them without realizing it. In Stoicism, valuing time and energy is crucial for a rich and meaningful existence. Time, once wasted, can never be recovered. Energy, when poorly applied, can leave us exhausted and unfocused. The key lies in learning to manage these resources wisely so that we can overcome challenges effectively and balanced. Epictetus warns us that what intimidates most is not death, but the waste of life. The Stoic understands that every moment is precious and that it is vital to use time and energy consciously. This does not mean living in constant productivity, but making deliberate choices about where and how we invest our resources. Have you ever found yourself dedicating hours to activities that, in the end, did not add value to your life? Or felt emotionally and physically drained by engaging in conflicts or situations that were not worth it? Valuing your time also means learning to say no. Often, we feel compelled to meet others' demands or engage in projects that do not bring us joy. However, the Stoic knows that time is limited and that every minute dedicated to something unimportant is an irretrievable minute. By learning to say no to what does not add value, you free up space for what truly matters. And this includes your passions, meaningful relationships, and personal development. Likewise, managing your energy is essential. We cannot be everywhere at once, nor can we solve all problems. The Stoic is aware of his limitations and recognizes that wasting energy on unnecessary conflicts, excessive worries, or irrelevant tasks only distances him from his true goals. When you value your energy, you become more discerning about what you choose to tackle. Ask yourself, does this challenge deserve my effort? Is it aligned with what truly matters to me? Valuing time and energy involves being attentive to the present moment. The Stoic practices mindfulness, focusing on the now. There is no point in dwelling on what could have been done or excessively planning the future if, in the present, you are not using your time and energy efficiently. When you are fully engaged in the moment, your energy is used more effectively, and you can achieve more with less effort. It is also essential to remember that valuing time and energy is not only about being productive, but also knowing when it's time to rest. Just as action requires balance with patience, work must be balanced with rest. Rest is not a waste of time, but a way to recharge your energies so that you can continue facing challenges with vigor and mental clarity. Being resilient in the face of any adversity is a powerful ideal, and through Stoic teachings, we can approach this capability. Each of the strategies discussed here offers us practical tools to face life with more calmness, clarity, and resilience. By implementing them, you will notice that obstacles lose their destabilizing power, and what once seemed insurmountable turns into a chance to grow. Now, I invite you to reflect on everything we have discussed. How can you incorporate these Stoic principles into your life? What current challenges can you face with a new perspective? I am also curious to know if you, my Stoic friend, stayed with me until the end of this text. If so, comment until the end. This is extremely motivating and inspiring for me. Don't forget to leave that valuable like and subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you soon.